Oh yeah, this is the after. Still gotta maybe get that out, not big concern, but way better here in the saltwater gallon, not gallon, 50 gallon drums, right? So now I'm gonna drain that water down in there, mix some more salt up here. We got a crap ton of salt elsewhere. Got a lot of compost today, cleaned that out. So it's super handy. I don't have the hose here anymore, but on the other side of this that's screwed into the Mag 18 fits a regular hose like pretty perfectly. So it was nice to drain the little bit of excess. It stopped at, you know, obviously somewhere right about there. So so I just hooked up a hose and went right out the garage here, and super easy. The only bad part was I got some of the daggum water in my mouth to get the suction, because I had to go over a hump to get out where the hose bib inside here is connected to the RODI. So other than that, which was a disgusting experience, that was a lot easier than I thought. So then I got a vacuum, of course, after it drained mostly, sucked it right out, cleaned it up, tried to clean around here a little bit, but way, way better. All right, so it's the next day. Wanted to let the glue and everything dry. Super long time, no big deal. So just turned on the water to flow through the pump. No leaks, knock on wood. Added some little foam under there to kind of support it just in case. So we will see if this thing works. All right, so we got it on. You can't see it, but it's pulling 25 watts right now, which is pretty insane. You can't hear it either because it is dead silent. It is ridiculously silent. So I filled up the tank a little bit more here, so it's even more silent because I got the water level all the way to where it's coming out. A bunch of flow, enough to, you know, stir this up at 30. I don't know if it's a percent or just a number or whatever, but I have it at 30. It goes all the way up to 100. So it should be enough to shoot it over to the other tank. The only noise you hear is the RODI dripping in the final little station here. Filled up everything else, so pretty pleased as of now with the Jebao DCP10000. That's what this one is. And then I ordered 20,000 for the actual return pump just because I think I need a replacement ASAP. One more quick tip that I noticed, I turned the pump up a little bit, so now it's actually, you know, suctioning a little bit because it's throwing so much water out. I put it up to 40%. So pretty crazy. It's pulling 41 watts at 40%, interestingly enough. But one quick thing that I noticed is, you know, it's kind of hard for me to reach down there and try to get that stupid little elbow, but it was moving around a little bit, so maybe that'll help actually mix up the salt, similar to like the little metal pill or whatever it is, or plastic covered metal pill, like in a Trident, you know, or Regent, you know, mixing thing or whatever. So kind of a neat idea. I think if I turn it up again, like when it was first on, it'll shoot that thing around, help mix up the salt maybe. All right, louder in here, but this is why I say I probably need a replacement here. Probably because I don't do enough maintenance on it, obviously, but this is the Reflow Hammerhead Barracuda. So as you can see, leaking, you know, very slowly, whatever, but ton of salt creep on it and everything. It's been a good pump. I mean, tons of power and everything like that, but pretty dang loud. I think it's like 6,000 GPH, gallons per hour or whatever. So I'm thinking I'm gonna take this all out and keep the return pump in there just for safety. So supposedly half the people say you can have the Jebaos, you know, on the outside of the tank, and the other half say it's got to be inside. So I don't know really which one it is, but obviously it's a deadly thing if anything happens and all the water shoots out here. So I think maybe for safety, I'm just going to reroute a little bit of this plumbing just to go directly in there. I haven't got the pump yet, so I'm not 100% sure how big it is, you know, as long as it's going to fit. I might have to raise the water level up, raise the skimmer up. But I think this time I'm going to keep it in there. It'll also add a little bit of slight foot room, you know, there, getting rid of this massive pump, and, you know, give me a little bit more room in the sump room here. All right, so working with the Marco 400 kit, first tip, some people are having trouble opening the lid. So all you do is you go around and slice those and it'll come, you know, right off. So this is what's included in the kit. You guys have probably seen it before. The stuff you mix with water, AKA milk, do not drink it. But that's kind of the liquid part of the stuff, the cement, of course, right? I got the pink color. Not that it matters because I'm kind of doing some of the, what's it called, Reef Ready rock or something like that. I had a bunch left over that, both in the branching, which I'm not sure if I really like or not. It just seems like it would break easier when you're trying to like stick on, you know, coral to it. So we'll see about that, but this, and then of course I'm gonna use some of my live rock, which I have a ton in the sump, but I'm not sure if I'm still gonna put some back in the display tank or leave it all out, you know, so I hopefully don't get any more vermin snails, but a couple cool pieces. So just working on that now, super gluing it first, and then I'm gonna come back and maybe do some of the cement now, just because the super glue does not work that great. So we'll see what happens. All right, so mixing this up, and this is about the consistency that's working best for me. About peanut buttery, a little bit less. Hopefully that helps. All right, so it's 24 hours for some of this stuff, probably the one in the middle right there. Did some other stuff last night, excuse the mess. But I mean, it definitely seems like it's, you know, sturdy and everything. So I'm gonna pick it up and see what happens. Well, it's heavy, yeah, for sure. So looks pretty good. Holding well, holding well. What's up? Today is November 5th, I believe, and it is a catastrophe over here. What is happening? Well, I got my pump in, the 20,000 Jeabao, so I was gonna wait and to install it, but apparently my old pump does not want me to wait. As you can see, it's leaking like crazy, so I'm gonna replace that today. Now, the question is I think I'm gonna make it internal this time. So I have it sitting in here, and it's an 1.5 inch opening up top, and then I have it reduced to 1.25 inch because that is the current size pipe that is going up right here from the old return pump. So you have to excuse the mess, but right now, this is the old return pump, goes up into the manifold, which feeds the frag tanks and anything else that I want to do and everything, and then it goes all the way up there. And then it comes down like several different places, all over the place, so irregardless. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to reuse this piece of pipe. I think I'm gonna have to, because I don't really have too much pipe now, to get it to go from here without hitting the manifold and everything. So like, you know, up and over and 45 and 40. I'm trying to figure out the best way. So post what you think, but the basic idea is I have to get from there to probably like around here somewhere is probably where I'm gonna cut it. So let me know what you think, and see if you, because I can't wait, see if you agree with what I did here in the next couple seconds. Also wanted to show flow here, but I have this sticking through here to try to, the anemone was trying to come up there, but now he's coming over there, and he keeps on trying to attack my silly WWC OG Bounce, which is like my most expensive mushroom, so I gotta move that stuff because wherever he's trying to get to. Anyway, so this is closed loop over here, so I doubt if it'll be easy to tell, like kind of flow comparison, but maybe we'll be able to see something in there, and then here, that's the flow there, and then I'll go upstairs and show you guys the flow as well. Alright, so that's what flow's looking like up here. Of course, I got my annoying sound, never fix that. And then on the other side over here, pretty good flow, so we'll compare that in a few. Alright, got my ATO annoyingly beeping, but a little bit more space, cleaned up a tad bit here. Obviously I haven't turned it back on yet or anything, but have it set there and coming up this way into right there. So we will see if there's any leaks or anything. Don't have it on yet, but we will see. Okay, so I didn't want to do it while I was filming to turn on just in case anything weird happened, but working fine. Looks like it's working good. Down here, it's not sucking in too much air. Obviously the water's still gonna come down. So right now I have it on 60%. I have it open a little bit there, all the way up to the top display tank. So let me show you the flow at 60%. All right, so again, probably can't really see because it's on a closed loop. Over here at 60%, you can definitely tell it's coming out. Not a huge amount, whatever, that's fine, I guess. So again, I was using a Reflow Hammerhead Barracuda with a higher volume thing in. So theoretically 6,000 gallons per hour, you know, especially upstairs. So I had to turn way the heck down. It's a pretty powerful pump, using up a ton of energy. So let's go upstairs and see what it's doing, if anything. Okay, I'm not sure which side I did first. So this is the right side. You see it coming out? It's coming out there actually pretty good now. A little while ago, it wasn't coming out at all. I was kind of worried. Now coming out good. coming out there as well, and this is at 60%. So just for fun, I'll go do it at 100, just see what happens. All right, so we got it at 100% here. To be fair, I still have it turned down coming into these sections, like at least 45 degrees over there. But wait till you see upstairs. All right, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep it at 100%. It's not like hitting the sides here, but coming out pretty darn good. And again, to be fair, I did have the reflow turned down, so there is kind of that. So I'm not necessarily comparing it directly to it or anything like that, but this is more than enough flow, obviously coming up from the basement all the way pretty much ground level, 6 inches above ground level maybe, up maybe 10, 12 feet to the floor here, and then another 6 feet to the top of the tank. Plenty of bends and turns and things, so pretty happy with this. All right, so everything's calming down here a little bit. Water line's back to where it should be, right underneath that little filler mark there. Still don't have the skimmer, you know, plugged up, of course. No leaks that I can tell, although down here it doesn't particularly, you know, really matter. I tried to keep the pump away from any kind of bubbles. I'm going to put some more rocks there to kind of section off that, or put that little lid there to stop the salt creep and everything. Here coming from the fuge, I've tried forever to try to get that to stop. I don't know what it is, but it definitely doesn't want to stop. But no leaks or anything, knock on wood. So right now, like I said, I have this set up just a little bit, so I'll probably open that maybe just a little bit more here. I still have it at 100 just to see kind of worst case scenario what's going to happen. And then 100 going up over there. Excuse all the mess, of course. And then over here, I got to figure out, it's like so many bubbles coming from my other main return on my right side comes here, and then the left side goes down and comes out the chiller down over here. So we'll see about that, but at least it's up and running, and I don't have to worry about a big leaking pump more than it already did. Right, I cleaned up a little bit, drying up a little bit, but that's where we're at now, as of November 5th. Today is November 5th, 2022.